Hello, Bro Steph here, and I wanted to talk to you today about Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5, and the confusion that is being created in this generation. Chaos and confusion. We're becoming the masters of chaos and confusion, the authors of creating it in this generation. Now, Deuteronomy 22:5 clearly states that a woman shall not put on men's clothing, and a man shall not wear women's garments. You read it for yourself right there in Deuteronomy 22:5. So over 3,500 years ago, and actually maybe even goes back further than that, goes back to Moses. The Lord was heading off this social chaotic sin that our generation would participate in, and I'm sure some back in 4,000 years ago, they were participating in this too. But the Ten Commandments are a great umbrella to be able to shine a light on the sins that man will get himself involved in. And it's God's call to us to say, don't do that. Don't go there. Nothing but bad things will become of it. Let's talk about some of those bad things that are happening now to our children, which will become, in my opinion, an entire lost generation because of this push to say that the over 100 gender identity classifications we have today, we're teaching kindergartners that this is okay. And this is proper behavior, proper thought in our culture and our society. Let me make it very simple to the pessimists out there that think what I'm saying is crazy. Go into a mirror. If you're a woman, look at yourself in the mirror and tell me what you see. Do you see a man staring back at you, or do you look like a woman? Take a good look and then report back to me what you see. If you're a man, do the same thing. It's simple. God created them, male and female. Male and female. Not maybe male, maybe female. Not, I'm not sure what I am, so I'm some outrageous category that makes me anything I want to be. So if I find myself in a situation where I have to use a restroom, I can just say I'm a girl and go into the girls' restroom. Who cares if it makes the women in there feel uncomfortable? I'm a girl. I'm going to go use the women's restroom. It's silly and it's destructive. It's very confusing to our children and it's chaotic. Our kindergartners, age 5, they're being taught that you can decide what you are. That's bunk. It's psychologically damaging and confusing to these children. They are what they were born to be. And we need to encourage them to embrace who God made them to be. If you're born a girl, embrace all of the benefits and all of the creativity that God birthed into you as a girl. If you're a boy, the same thing. Embrace being a boy. The suicide rate amongst our children is going sky high. And in the transgender community, the suicide rate is off the charts. Because after they take all the hormones, they do all the surgeries, many transgenders are reporting that they're miserable. And now they have to live with the mutilation that was done to them in their bodies. This report can be found from the Johns Hopkins Medical Associations. The doctors of psychology and of gender studies at Johns Hopkins are all reporting the same data. They're actually very concerned about it. We're going to lose an entire generation of people. And it's going to be very, very bad for all of us if this continues. It's direct rebellion against our Creator, the Lord. He created us to be man, and He created us to be women. That's all it is. It's simple. Very simple for a child to understand, isn't it? What am I, Mommy? You're a girl. What am I, Dad? You're a boy. Very simple. And then the kids at age 3 or 4, when they ask the question, go off and play. And to them, okay, case closed. I'm a girl, I'm a guy, that's all there is to it. Very simple. You know, there are some in the homosexual community that are actually alarmed by this. Because if you're a homosexual man, you're a man that prefers other men, right? If you're a homosexual woman, you're a woman that prefers women. But you're still a man or a woman. And the homosexual community is really starting to take a close look at this, and they're starting to say, this is very dangerous. This is psychologically dangerous for our children growing up to be taught that this is okay. It's not okay. Just look at the stats on your own. Just do your own research and you'll see that this is very troubling. And then now in the White House, the president puts his stamp of approval on a transgender medical professional who's head of the health department and the Department of Health over America, who's a transgender individual who has some if you do research into this individual, this person has some real scary thoughts on transgenderism and what we can be teaching and telling our children at the age of 3, the age of 4, the age of 5. The indoctrination that's coming upon our children right now as I speak. It's horrifying. And then we wonder why. When we stick our finger in God's eye and say, we don't want to follow your rules. when the rules are established to protect us and to shield us from harm. We say, no, get out of our society, get out of our churches, get out of our lives. God, we don't want you. When a society says that, then bad things start happening in the society, and the people of that society wonder, wow, what's going on? We're shocked that our country is starting to fall apart, yet we condone these sinful, very, very harmful moral standards and social economical standards for our country and the people in the country. It's the same thing with the abortion problem. 60 million babies have been killed in the name of convenience, mostly in the name of convenience. There have been some abortions that I'm sure had to happen because of medical reasons. There was nothing that could be done. That's different. The mother was dying. The baby had to be aborted, otherwise she would die. And so in some cases, the life of the fetus had to be terminated. But outright wholesale abortion, just, you know what? You slept with the guy. You're sorry you got pregnant. It's going to be an inconvenience to have the baby. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to abort the baby. Abortion because of convenience. That's murder. And we're so afraid to call things what they are, to tell the truth today. We live in this society of lies, distortions, manipulations, chaos around us everywhere we look. Critical race theory. If you're white, you have to apologize for it. I'm not apologizing for anything. I was born Jewish. A white man who's Jewish. I'm not going to apologize for that. I love the Black community. I love the Hispanic community. I love the Arab community. I love the different races and culture that is in our country and outside of our country. I don't look down on them. But I'm not going to apologize for being created and brought into this world by God and through my mother. I'm not going to apologize for being a white Jewish male. It's ridiculous. I prayed before doing this video. And I asked the Lord, should I talk about this on a live video? And I sat and I thought about it and I thought about it. And here's what I heard back in my head. If the society and culture you're living in, Stefan, that I've called you into, is breaking my commandments, purposely doing it, turning their backs on me, living in rebellion against me, then Ezekiel 33 dictates, because you're a watchman, it's your job to watch and report, dictates that you report the truth. It's never wrong to report the truth. And when a society starts stepping out of bounds, it's never wrong to point it out. And that's what I heard in my head. And so I came online today to bring up this issue. If you go to my Facebook profile page, I hope they don't exit out. But if they allow it to remain posted. It's a boy and a girl, question marks over their heads. And I basically said in the post that we're living in a generation, we're the authors and the creators now of this generation of confusion, chaos, and trouble. And we're doing it to ourselves, and we're turning our back on God's laws. Again, Deuteronomy 22. Men shall not wear women's clothing, and women shall not wear men's clothing. And we could put in parentheses, men shall be men, and women shall be women, just the way God created it. And God said, it's an abomination to me if you do it. In other words, it's evil. It's rebellion. Rebellion, the Lord said, is the sin of witchcraft. And witchcraft is the sin of rebellion. And you don't want to live in that state. Sooner or later, we will suffer the consequences of that rebellion. So the call today to anyone that will listen is, if you're a mother or a father and you have young children and you've been teaching them that they get to choose what they want to be, a boy or a girl, or 100 different categories in between, come to the Lord Jesus Christ. Confess your rebellion and your sin to him, to the only one that can save you and renew your mind. Romans chapter 12. That when you come to the Lord, he'll renew your mind and give you a clear mind and get the cobwebs out of there. You'll see what's right and you'll see what's wrong. You'll be able to understand what the perfect will of God is. If you come to Jesus, ask him to save you. Anyone that calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. You have to ask, you have to believe, and you have to call out to him and confess, I am a sinner and I need your help, Lord. And I put my faith, my trust and hope in you. I believe you are the Son of the living God who died on the cross for me. Believe that in your heart. God will save you. That's a promise. Do it today. Don't wait. And if you're a believer and you're on the fence about this issue, do your own homework. Search out the scriptures. See what God has to say about these cultural rebellious attitudes that are in our society today. Read about what Jesus said about Satan, the evil one, and who he is and has been from the beginning of time. He was a liar, a deceiver, a manipulator, a murderer from the beginning, the Lord said. And this is who is creating the atmosphere of deception and manipulation in our society, and the people that don't have a firm relationship with the Lord are falling for his lies. Call on the name of the Lord today and be saved. This is Bro Steph with your word for today. Bye for now.